This loss on Sunday night was not the end of the world, okay? Take a deep breath. Relax. Remember that the Astros are better on the road. Remember that the Twins can't put Pablo Lopez on the mound every single game this series. And also just figure out a way to stop Carlos Correa from single-handedly beating your ass this series. It really was two guys for the Twins last night that stuffed you in a locker. Pablo Lopez with 7 scoreless innings. Not one Astros base runner reached third base while Lopez was on the hill. And you had a hell of a performance by Carlos Correa. You heard one of his RBI hits. He had 2 doubles, goes 3 for 4, 3 runs batted in, and he even made a couple of nice web gems in the 9th to get the last 2 outs of the game. And now I'm going to direct my attention to the average Houston sports fan out there. I get it, you're feeling down. You should be feeling down about yourself. You should. I was at Minute Maid Park Saturday. I was at Minute Maid Park on Sunday. It was a mausoleum in there. Paul, what's a mausoleum? You know, where dead people are dead and people are supposed to be quiet and respectful. Were you guys being quiet and respectful during yesterday's game? During Saturday's game? Like, far be it from me to call out fans for how they fan. But, I mean, it was like you guys weren't even there. And then on top of that, after the Texans lose a game on Sunday, I have people say, oh, the sky is falling. The season's over. There are moments where I look at this sports town and the average fan, and I feel like you need to be sent to a re-education camp or something. I thought that, in particular, yesterday's performance by the Astros crowd at Minute Maid Park was a joke. You could see why Rocco Baldelli, before the game, manager of the Twins, was saying, well, yeah, I mean, it's a louder crowd in Minnesota. Did you hear the Fox Sports broadcast, by the way, going into game 1 of this series? I didn't hear it because I was at the stadium and I was looking for some highlights this morning for today's show. This was the first clip of a series of highlights on YouTube for the Astros and Twins in game 1. These announcers got it wrong.
The familiar ruckus crowd at Minute Maid Park in Houston, where the reigning World Series champions get set to defend their title. The champions of the American League West, Houston Astros, square off with the AL Central champion, Minnesota Twins.
The familiar raucous crowd. Maybe back in 2017 or 2015. Because y'all have gone wine and cheese since then. And I get it. Fans get priced out. But I'm just going to remember a couple of moments from the game on Saturday and Sunday that I felt just made everything look bad. During key moments, Saturday, Hector Neris comes into the game. He has 2 strikeouts back to back. You would think fans would remain standing after he got those 2 outs. You're supposed to pick him up there. Dead quiet. And I'm not acting like this is the reason that Hector Neris allowed a 3-run home run. But he was dead quiet. He allows that home run. And I'm like, am I watching a Saturday game in June? And then yesterday, the only time that Astros fans got loud was to boo Carlos Correa, which, even if he's kicking your ass, I still think it's a bad look. That's the loudest that people got. And there's one moment where Framber Valdez is on the hill. And he's got an 0-2 count on Carlos Correa. I believe this was in the 5th inning. Fans get up. It's the loudest it's been at Minute Maid Park. They're down just 3-0. Framber needs to get the Astros out of this jam. Fans stand up with an 0-2 count. It was loud. But then he throws a ball. Fans are a little less loud. He throws another ball. Fans are all of a sudden starting to get really quiet. Throws another ball, ultimately walks him, and it was like a church. Like a Catholic church. And all of a sudden, I started yawning. I started falling asleep. I had to go back to the press box area to find some coffee to get myself jeeped up. You guys were putting me to sleep. Not the end of the world what happened to the Astros this weekend. I'm just kind of embarrassed by the performance by the fans. God forbid I tell you how to fan, but as the high tradesman of the Church of Jeff Luhnow, the man leading you on this great journey for the first baseball repeat title since the Yankees did at the turn of the century, can we, for the love of God, wake up? Holy crap. You're better than this. I thought. Maybe you're not. I was listening to the bench on the way in, and they were talking about Jeremy Pena, his double, and he does that little hip thrust and the, hard hands motion right after he does it. And people are mad about it. Oh, you're down 5-0. Why are you doing that? Honestly, if Jeremy Pena shaking his Ramalama Ding Dong could get the ladies that were at Minute Maid Park going, that would have been more than, for the most part, the crowd was able to give you by a long shot. You guys got to step your game up. And, okay, maybe the Astros are just going to have to win this thing on the road. And I said it going into this segment. You got to take care of this in Minnesota. You do not want this to go to a Game 5. You do not want to get to a point where Pablo Lopez can face you again because you're probably going to go down. He kicked your ass last night. He did. But you guys were ass last night. And I feel very comfortable saying that. Oh, Paul, but they pressed us out. Stop. I mean, it was dead quiet in there. I'm kind of embarrassed. Is anyone even listening today? And I get it. It's a holiday. Columbus Day. And I don't know, maybe there's a lot of anti-Italian discrimination going on at your workplace. Maybe all of a sudden you had to go in today because they can't honor the great Christopher Columbus. I say that in quotation marks because you didn't really learn until a couple of years later that maybe Christopher Columbus wasn't the best of guys. But it just has felt absolutely dead as far as care, as far as enthusiasm for this team. And that's really my biggest takeaway from the weekend. Whatever. They split it 1-1. Not the end of the world. Framber Valdez stunk. The entire Astros lineup outside of Yordan Alvarez stunk. But it could have been a lot worse. From a game-to-game perspective, I'm totally relaxed when it comes to the Astros in this series. They were probably going to lose one against Minnesota. Minnesota's playing really good right now. But you guys, specifically the people in attendance at Minute Maid Park, do you even care? It felt like you didn't. It felt like, it's kind of getting old winning all the time. What are you, one of those hipster fans? I want to lose. I really just... I need something different, okay? I want to feel something inside, and I hope we lose in this series. That's kind of the vibe I got at the Minute Maid Mausoleum last night.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's like a play or like a movie or something where the crowd only reacts when something actually happens, but for the most part, it's like, guys, be quiet, okay? We don't want to disrupt what's going on here. It's like, no, actually, we do want you to disrupt what's going on here. We want the players on the field to feel you, to feel your presence. And it's like, no, when they do something, we'll get loud and then we'll go back to being quiet. It's like, no, that's not how this happens. This isn't an intermission break.
Sean, seriously, that moment where Framber was on the hill and he had the 0-2 count,
yeah,
where it went from just super loud to 3 pitches to be oh, okay, well, it's in between innings. It's time to go get me another El Tiempo $700 margarita. It was crazy. The worst part of all, the Minute Maid, I guess, PA guy or whoever's in charge of what goes on the graphic.
The in-stadium guy.
Yeah, the in-stadium guy. At some point, they play a make some noise. And it was so quiet that they just stopped 10 seconds into it. They were like, oh, I guess they're not coming. All right, well, let's stop. This is getting embarrassing.
They have the fake decibel meter one, and it's just normally it stays like near 100. Like when you're at Texans games or whatever, it's always like it's in the 90s, it's in the hundreds. Now it's 108 or whatever. And it's like completely made up imaging. But for some reason, for the Astros one, it actually is like real, and it's like it's about a 20. It's about as loud as a baby coughing. Not exactly a jet, not exactly a jet taking off. It's more,
Honestly, listen. I mean, we're not above cheating on this show. Time to pump in some crowd noise. Let's go full Indianapolis Colts. Let's pump in some crowd noise because y'all can't do it. If the series gets back for a Game 5 with Pablo Lopez on the hill, it's time. It's time to pump in some crowd noise. It is the most interactive sports talk show in Houston. We have a couple of comments. And Fuentes Respecter says, so that's the takeaway? Duh, Astros fans, duh. Referring to me calling Astros fans out. Here's what happened. Correa beat you up. Pablo Lopez beat you up. Framber sucked. Your bat sucked. Do we need to go into any more detail than that? Do you even want us to go into any more detail than that? I'm not even really that disappointed. They were going to have a game like this in this series. They're not that dominant of a team. I'm not going to go back and second guess all the decisions. Well, what if Dusty Baker put Yainer Diaz in for Martin Maldonado in the 5th inning? Was he going to hit 4 home runs? Oh, Sean Mapes is nodding his head. Yes.
Man, I saw some compelling fans on Twitter tweet some things about how good Yainer Diaz is.
I'm sorry. They need to all shut up. Like they
Yainer Diaz has become like catcher Barry Bonds now, where it's just like, hey guys, he is a better hitter than Martin Maldonado. He's not like that much better though.
Check that. He's a lot better than Maldonado.
Okay, he's a lot better, but he's not that much better where he's swinging 6-run games.
No hitter is like that. That's the reality. Now, it was kind of funny that the second loudest cheer of the game for the Astros, first was every single time Correa came up, boos. The second loudest moment was when Martin Maldonado put in Yainer Diaz, and Diaz was announced at the plate. So some of the real ones, some of the real Astros fans out there who are always annoyed that Maldonado plays, they made their voices heard here. Another text on the most interactive sports talk show in Houston. Paul, you're not even an Astros fan, bro. Actually, as a bandwagoner, you could argue I'm more of a fan than you because I, as somebody from a diehard sports town in Boston, left a team that I grew up rooting for the Astros. And yeah, I had a little affair with the Mariners, but it's fine. I'm back, okay? Listen, little Paulie wants what it wants. It continues the texter. You bitch so much about this team and its city. Please leave. Sincerely, all of Houston. Well, the ratings are pretty damn good. I don't know if it's all of Houston, number one. Number two, I'm not even bitching about the team. I'm bitching about you people. Is that a problem, perhaps?
That's why they're mad. That's why this person's mad.
Honestly, Sean, most people agree with me. I saw
it's so it is the correct take. That the Minute Maid crowd last night sucked.
I'm more mad about that than I am about the Astros splitting the series.
The Minute Maid crowd was worse than Framber Valdez, and Framber Valdez wasn't that good last night.
He stunk. He was terrible. Alex Bregman, not very good. The rest of the lineup, other than Yordan Alvarez last night.
God, he's so good.
Not very good. It's like Jeremy Pena and Yordan Alvarez are the two guys that have done things for you, and Altuve as well.
Yes.
That's it, though. That's all you've gotten from the lineup. And I'm not focusing on that or Framber Valdez. You guys somehow outsucked it all. And a lot of people do actually agree here on the Twitch, twitch.tv/ESPN975. Reapers Incarnate. These fans want a World Series team, but don't cheers like World Series fans. Damn, that's deep.
Well, most of those fans do have rings because they give them out every 6 games. So,
how many rings can you collect?
I went to a Sugarland Space Cowboys game and came away with the World Series ring.
I don't have a ring. That's BS. Red from De713. Paul, you're on point. The fans need to be called out. Lone Ranger 614. People who go now are just there to be seen. Yeah, the amount of people I saw right in front of me in the club level, because the seats that the media gets put in is on the first base line, and we're right behind the club level seats. The amount of people that were taking selfie videos of them while the Astros were like getting stomped was rather sad. I saw some celebrities there too. They weren't even watching the game.
Oh yeah, who? Please name drop.
The girl from Love Is Blind whose dog got my pants dirty.
Okay.
Celebrities, baby.
that was the celebrities.
That's an indictment on her as a dog mom, I gotta say. Like, your dog's cute, but like pooches, get down.
But nice seats.
More text. It's like the fan base is tired of going to the playoffs. How many more of these do we have? Was all over their faces. Another text. I'd be louder than my wife in labor if my broke ass could afford it. Shout out to you. Before the game, they need to put on the big board replays of people hating on the Astros crowd. That honestly might work. That or Jeremy Pena pelvic thrusts will at least get going, you know? At least the ladies will stand up for that.
It'll be Beatlemania. Yeah.
I want babies now. Like that. That could work.
What if they just play, or what if Minnesota fans were just like, we want Houston fans. We think we can take Houston fans. Will people be less mad about that?
No, I think they'd be mad about that.
I will say the we want Houston stuff.
We'll do that later.
The reaction to it is jump the shark.
No,
Like,
you know what? No,
so
I disagree.
stupid.
I disagree. Sean, we need to get these people motivated by any means necessary.
Didn't work.
Well,
'Cause it's too stupid.